Can we improve relationship with people all over the world when we don't understand each other? That are oppressed. There are several different organizations that are working to do that. One of the most fascinating ones I would like to become more active with is what Dwight Hopkins, your member, is doing. Dwight Hopkins is going around the country with oppressed people and forming an alliance. They've had 2 or 3 international meetings of people of color on every continent, including Hawaii. That they are forming, those people of color are because oddly enough, the people who are oppressed, most of them are of color. And Dwight is working in one of the organizations, and that's not the only one, there are many, but one of the organizations that's working, Bishop Ndungane, South Africa, who followed, Bishop Ndungane, Dwight Hopkins, and others, is one group. There's another group of women. You should know that one. They met in Ghana. It's a group of women in religion. They are working African American, and African women and South American women in Bahia. They're all working together. So there are several organizations that are trying to do that, Cornelius, in terms of forming alliances and sharing stories. Because most of us don't know what Bahia is and don't know how many blacks live in Bahia or in Brazil. Because we don't know this, so we're just not taught that. Or Amsterdam. And somebody, we just, the black Russians, we have a black Russian that teaches over here at Chicago State. And the black Germans. Well, but there are several organizations. I think the best way to do it is to find out, talk to people like Linda Thomas, who works with the women, Dwight Hopkins, who's working with that black color, to find out what organizations there are like that are working and building bridges to tell each other and to learn each other's story. Thomas? Yeah, the Link, L-I-N-K. Yes, it's a quarterly published by the Americans for Middle East Understanding. I have the address upstairs. I think I have one copy upstairs of the Link, the current copy that talks about Hamas. Yes, they do. The Link, L-I-N-K. The organization, if you Google it, you can find it, but it's under the Americans, A-M-E-U, Americans for Middle East Understanding. I think it's 475 River. It's in New York. Huh? Good search. If you good search it, don't Google it. If you good search it. They put out, well, that's one. They have a list of books. They publish about two each year. In fact, the Attack on Their Liberty is one of their books. They have a whole book describing that Israeli attack on the U.S. carrier, United States carrier, the Liberty. Yes, ma'am. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I think her question was, how do you reconcile your faith and your sacred text with what flat-out history says, which is something very different from what your faith or your sacred text is saying? I think what you do is, first of all, address in a very positive manner your opening statement, which is that so many of us were raised never to question the Bible, and we were just raised wrong. That the things in the Bible we not only need to question, the things in the Bible we need to preach against, like the rape of the Levite's concubine in Judges 17, or David never saying anything to his son who raped his daughter. That's just, we can't say nothing about that? Yeah, we need to say something about that. Or the fact that there are certain things in our Bibles that have They're nice stories, but they're not true. Meaning. Are you married? I need somebody who's married. Give me a hand of somebody who's married, who has 3 children. Claire, you got 3 children, don't you? Miss Hunter's mommy and Andrea's mommy, Lorraine, has 3 children. All right? 3 children. If one was Hunter's complexion, one looked like Bill Clinton, and one looked like Chiang Kai-shek, how long do you think your husband would have let you live? In the book of Genesis, when Mr. and Ms. Noah have children, one ain't white, one yellow, and one black, or Miss Noah been dead. Those are sacred stories that are talking about origins and how things. Those are not. That's not something. But you don't. It's like Daddy. My daddy used to say, you get all the nutrients out the bone, but you don't choke on the bone or try to swallow the bone. That there are truths in the sacred text. There are people, when they wrote the Bible, who thought the world was flat. Does that mean the Bible is wrong? No, that means they were wrong. What they're trying to get us to know is that God created the world, and God created us. So you get that truth out of that, and you don't trip over the fact that these people were stupid. They thought the world was flat, and they thought the sun. The Christian church put Galileo out of the church because he had dared to say that we were going around the sun, when the Bible said clearly from the rising of the sun until the going down of the same. We thought, Christians, that the Bible was right, and Galileo said, no, we're going around the sun. Well, that doesn't make the Bible wrong. That means they were limited in terms of that culture and that time and their historical understanding, and that has nothing to do, again, it has nothing to do with the question that's asked of you when you were baptized, which is the same question Jesus asked, that Peter answered in Matthew 16. Whether the world was flat or the sun goes around the earth, whether they were Hebrew slaves or not Hebrew slaves,